everyone. I am here today on a live stream with my friends Caroline and Kat. I'm very grateful that they're here today. I'm just going to be asking them some questions about climbing. And I know both of them I know Caroline through school originally, but we're both avid climbers, so we've been climbing together. And I know Kat, I met her at the Boulder Rock Club, and she's also friends with one of my really close friends, who's also a climber. But yeah, I am just going to be asking them some questions about their climbing journey and advice they have for new climbers, etc., etc. So if Caroline, you wouldn't mind giving yourself a little introduction, and then Kat, and then we'll jump right into some questions.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I go to CU and I'm supposed to graduate this spring. And I'm originally from Fort Collins, Colorado. But go ahead, Kat.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kat. I actually moved to Colorado from Miami in October to climb. I am at the moment becoming a yoga instructor and enjoying Colorado.
Yay. Thank you, ladies, so much. Okay, so first question. Why did you start climbing, and who or what attracted you to the sport? Caroline, you can go first, and then Kat.
Okay, I think the very first time I ever went climbing, I went with my mom, whose coworkers had showed her climbing, and I think I was in like 6th grade. And it's kind of a one-off thing, but like we went to the climbing gym and he was like, "This is the bouldering wall," and we did a traverse. And I remember like I feel like it went better than I thought it would. And it was just like really fun. But I think
you felt like natural at it.
I don't know. I felt kind of like good at it, and I feel like other climbers might maybe relate to this, but it's never like that good at other sports.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's
yeah.
Me too, for sure. Kat, how about you?
Well, what brought me to climbing, or what introduced me, is pretty much I went online and found a Groupon to a rock gym in Miami. Went one day and fell in love. A week later, I bought my harness, my shoes, everything, and just dove straight in. I tried all kinds of other sports when I was younger. I was a soccer player, I was a volleyball player, I played water polo at a junior professional level, and then kind of just fell out of all of it. And rock climbing at 29 years old has been the only thing to like bring me back into something active and make me want to try harder and constantly give me some sort of goal.
Totally. And you started like pretty recently, yeah? Like last
year, not last year December, but 2019 December would have been.
Yeah, awesome. How did you feel on the first, Caroline, you kind of alluded to this, that it went better than you thought it would and you kind of really enjoyed it, but how did you feel on the first climb you ever did, and like how did it feel to finish it or reach the top?
I don't really remember. Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking maybe about like outdoor climbs, but I tend to forget climbs that I do. So I don't know if, Kat, you have a better answer.
Well, you started climbing very young. So, I mean, I only have like 2 years. I remember my first one. I think I have a video of it still. It wasn't that great, to be honest with you. It was, I enjoyed it. It was fun. But if I look back I do look back at the video now and see the difference from my climbing then and now. But it was still great to experience it and get to the top of it. When I got to the top, actually, I climbed inside at first. Mm-hmm. So when I got to the top and I was on an auto belay, I was actually terrified to come down.
Yeah.
I still am. Honestly, at the BRC, I'm always like, audible.
I know. It's definitely like you have to learn to trust it. And sometimes it's so easy to not, you know. Why is climbing important to you? Why do you like it?
Because I think one reason that, this is a super interesting reason, that I enjoy climbing is because it makes my brain feel better. Mm-hmm. There's many reasons, but especially like recently being in like Zoom class and like being able to go climbing, I feel like it's really just helps my brain work better. And like, but But also, there's been like a lot of good people. Like, I'm really thankful for like the places I've been able to go and like the people I've been able to meet from climbing, which kind of brings me back when I'm like, I'm gonna find a new sport, and then I end up coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel that. Yeah, the climbing community is really special. How about you, Kat?
I guess the reason why I like climbing,
Yeah.
would be for the fact of the people as well, and for me, it'd be the physical mostly, because I guess I'm getting a little older. I want to be in the best shape of my life by the time I'm 30, and the climbing is just putting me in that direction.
Yeah.
It's constantly giving me something to work for, and also, like Caroline said, make my brain work. You know, it's constantly trying new moves and doing something different. It just keeps everything going. You always have something to look forward to, something to work for.
So true.
And people are great, can't lie.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to meet the both of you.
Yes, such a pleasure. I completely agree that it's like the physical aspects and growth are like exponential, and it's so self-motivating when you see yourself getting better and like doing a climb that you couldn't do before, and projecting climbs. It's all such a rewarding experience. What is the one thing that you like most about rock climbing, if you had to choose one?
It's so hard to pick one thing.
Right?
I don't know about like, this isn't like, I don't know, this is the right answer. But
There's no wrong answer.
in terms of like what I like most, I feel like when I climb, things that I enjoy, like I'm not the type of person that can just like go to the gym and climb by myself and like find motivation. Like hanging out with people and like spending time with friends and like getting better together or like working on things, I feel like is like the best part maybe of climbing, because if it's just me, like it's not something that I would like really come back to or like feel like I want to go do
Totally.
as much, or at least sustainably.
Yeah, friends are so motivating too.
That's a great reason to be the reason you climb, or one of the most enjoyable parts of it. I guess my favorite thing about climbing would be being outdoors. Like I'm a big outdoor lead climber. I learned to lead. My first lead was outside. My first lead belay was outside. Actually, when we moved here. So it's just being out in nature and touching real rock is the ultimate for me.
So true. Animation.
Oh yeah.
Animation, for those who don't know, is a super classic climb in Boulder Canyon. That is a lot of people's first lead climbs, just because it's a very varied route and really beautiful and just so much fun. Where was the most memorable place that you've ever climbed, and why?
I can go, Caroline, if you'd like.
You should go.
You've had plenty of places I'm sure you've climbed at. I'm looking forward to the day when I have to think about like the most exciting.
Oh, that's not even why. But so I'm honored you think that of me. I'm just indecisive.
I guess my the one place would have to be Tennessee and Chattanooga, just because it was my first outdoor climb and pretty much the reason that I moved to Colorado for climbing. We went to Foster Falls, climbed outside for a weekend, camped outside, and I just realized that I never wanted to be stuck in a gym again.
Yeah, I love that.
I've heard so many good things about climbing in Chattanooga. I was torn for my decision because I was trying to think about which I should have, like, should it be the place that I really liked, but I wasn't with people that I really liked that much, like which way, because I think one of the most awesome like places I've climbed is Red River Gorge in Kentucky. So fun. But some of the like most fun climbing days, I like wasn't really with my like friends that I really like. So I was like, yeah, but do I want to give it that? Because I wasn't with the people. So that was my indecision. But
Did we lose Sophie?
All right,
I don't know, where did Sophia go?
Can you see my video at all?
No.
No.
Uh-oh. Yeah, my video is also frozen on
Uh-oh.
the streaming platform. I'm trying to fix it. Ah! Okay, well, at least you can still hear me, and that's what matters.
Yes, you sound great.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
That's great.
I love both of those answers. I haven't been to either of those places, so they're on my list. Next question. Do you climb mostly with men? And in general, do you feel like there are more male climbers than females?
I feel like I don't have like a clear yes or no question, because I like for this example for Red River Gorge for the last question, like to go to those places, like the only people that wanted to climb like hard or like go explore, it was only like the guys that had gone on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know. So I like went with them, but I'm not like, you know. So, but I guess like in the gym, especially like in the past couple of years, just like I used to climb at Movement. A lot of my climbing partners are like women, and
Yeah.
I kind of,
It's amazing.
So I kind of realized that I was like, maybe that's like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I love that.
Oh, well, I definitely have been climbing more with men than women, just because in Miami, I don't think there are a few women climbers, but there's definitely more men.
Mm-hmm.
And then my first trip to Tennessee was with two guys, and I actually moved out here with my partner, which is a man.
Mm-hmm.
But since I've moved out here, I've actually met more women than I have anywhere else that actually climb. So I think it's just where you're at and a preference and who likes it and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's more of a man or a woman thing.
Yeah. I also feel like being in Boulder, Colorado, which is just such a hub of climbers, there's a lot, because it attracts climbers, it allows for more diversity. But we still have a far way to go.
Women are so strong here. So strong.
So badass.
Sorry about that.
No.
I left a pan on the stove and it was smoking.
Good call, checking that. Have you had any discouragements through your climbing journey, and how did you deal with them?
I feel like for me, I get like things that I struggle with are maybe like being on a plateau for a long time, mm-hmm. or also just getting intimidated or kind of like feeling like I progress really slow. I feel like those are things that convince me to like maybe feel like I stop climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been like maybe 2 times where I was like, you know, should I keep doing this? But I think like things that would help me at least recently is just trying to like find new things to do. But like for a while I think I felt like really stuck and on a plateau, and I was like, maybe I'll just start trying to like climb on the overhanging wall all the time, because I'm terrible at it, but it's something new.
Yes.
But I definitely still get pretty discouraged by like getting intimidated by other people that I see that are like really good, or maybe have been climbing like less time than me, or feeling like I don't even know where to start to like train or like something like that. Those are things I struggle with.
Yeah. I feel that.
Those are all valid discouragements, and I've had a few of those. But I think more for me, if I could think of something that's discouraged me the most, would probably be my first like outdoor 11 lead climb. When I went outside and tried it, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm doing great. I'm leading everything. I can do this, and just hopped right on the wall, got halfway up and got to this slab and just looked up and was like, oh man, what do I do? There was nothing, not a hold, nowhere to stand. and my partner's just telling me, just do it, just reach for it, just find it. And I couldn't find anything. It literally I had to come down in tears because I spent 20 minutes up there trying to figure out the move and just couldn't get anywhere. So finally came down, and that pretty much just kind of killed the excitement and I guess enjoyment for climbing outside for a little bit. It took like almost a week for me to get back in the groove, and but luckily I can say I went back and I tried it on top rope 2 more times, found the move, and then let it. But definitely that was a point for me.
Yep. I feel like that is both a discouragement and also a motivation, because it's like, oh, I can't do this, but it's just like, now I want to do it even more because I can't, and then you just work harder and then you get it, and it's like the most rewarding experience. What advice would you give newbies or people who are scared to try rock climbing?
Just try it. Just climb. Like, I don't think there's any better advice for anyone new. It's the same advice that I got when I first started from some of the people that have been climbing at that gym for years, and they're just like, climb.
Yeah.
You don't need to train anything. You don't need to do anything special. Just try everything, climb. If you think it's too hard, just try it anyways. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, I agree. Or like people being like, well, I can't do that move. And it's like, well, add a foot or whatever. I also feel like people shut themselves down because they're like, well, I wouldn't climb because like maybe like I'm too short. But I feel like climbing is interesting just because I think because so many different people can do it. And then people do things differently, which makes it interesting. Like, if, you know, like everyone, I feel like when I was climbing with someone and they're like, yeah, but I don't know, I'm like way too short. And it's like, well, that means that you're probably just gonna have better techniques. So I don't know. I agree though.
True that. And what does safe climbing mean to you? And how do you make sure that you're incorporating that?
I feel like for me, like at least with my friends, safe. I feel like if you want to be able to climb safely, you need to not be like afraid to point out when something doesn't feel right to you. So like, because if you're climbing with someone and you see that something isn't safe, but you're like, well, if I say something like this might feel silly, then that's like not very safe. Like, I'd like to have a friend who's belaying me who's like not shy to be like, you're backstepping, and if you fell right now, like you could hit your head, just because they're like too nice or something. So I feel like there's that in addition to, you know, education and like knowing how to stay safe.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all those points.
Uh-oh. She's frozen.
No.
Sophia, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't.
No, can't come back. Well, should I turn my video off for the internet?
Let's see.
No.
Uh-oh, she's
gone. Maybe Zoom kicked her out.
Sad. I'm also having tech issues on my end. I don't know what's going on. But okay, well, do you have any like stories of situations where you felt unsafe that are important warnings or anything?
Oh, you know, I think I've been very fortunate that I like haven't had any really scary accidents.
Good.
And one of my friends did have one. I think it was like 2 years ago. But I feel like for me, maybe just like small things that I just feel like it's really important to get like a detailed knowledge of what you're doing, because there's even like little things can contribute to things going wrong later, like whether or not that's like not communicating with your belayer, not knowing that they should keep you tight over a ledge so you don't fall or something.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna think of another specific example. I think it's too specific.
You think it's too specific?
Yeah, it was like a smaller thing that compromises like the safety of your gear.
What? Explain.
It was so like, you know, on quick draws there's like two sides. Yep. And one side you always want to use for the metal, and one side you always want to use for the rope, because the metal side can get little like notches in it sometimes, and if you flip it, it can fray your rope.
Yeah.
Or like just like tiny like little things like that that I feel like there's so much to learn when you start climbing, but it's worth it to like take your time and make sure you really know. Yep. You know what's up. Fortunately, you can learn a lot of stuff on the internet, but also from people that know what they're doing. I don't know. It's not a very good answer, but
no, it is a very good answer. Okay, Kat just texted me. Yeah, did you get kicked out?
Come back.
Kicked out. Come back. I am also fortunate to say that I haven't had any scary situations with falling or belaying, but I definitely know some people that have, like, I suppose this should be, I'll explain. Caroline, you definitely know what happened, but our friend Emmy was climbing and her belayer wasn't paying enough attention to her, and there was too much slack in the rope, and she fell and hit a ledge and broke her ankle. And it was definitely, it was just really scary for her, of course. And she was out from the sport for months, and I believe she had to get surgery on her ankle. But it's just always important to make sure that you trust your belayer, and as a belayer that you're paying attention the entire time to the person that you are belaying. And because rock climbing honestly is a really dangerous sport, and injuries happen all the time, and in order to ensure that you prevent them, it's safety first, always. Okay, I know you have to go in a little bit, but I have a few more questions for you. What inspires and motivates you as a climber and in general in your life, I suppose?
Oh, that's like a really hard question. Need Kat to come back and answer first. Come back, Kat.
Come back.
What inspires and motivates me? I was thinking about motivations because one of my friends is lending me the book called Vertical Mind, which is about like sports psychology and climbing, and they have a bunch of like, fill out, you know, are you intrinsically motivated, extrinsically motivated by like rewards or things?
I like that.
And I don't know.
Vertical Mind. I want to check that out.
Yeah, I think. Where is it? Here we have for the hordes for all of you streaming. We have Vertical Mind.
There she is.
She's back.
Yay!
Welcome back. Yeah, what's the question?
The question is, what inspires and motivates you both as a climber and in your life in general?
I was just stumbling my way through answering because I don't really know. So if you would like to answer, Kat, go ahead.
What motivates me as a climber, you said, and in general?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that, what motivates me pretty much in general would be the climbing is a big part of my life. And again, me and my partner moved out here to start our lives with climbing. He's becoming a rock guide and single pitch instructor, and I pretty much came out here to climb and follow along the same steps, aside from my yoga as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's big in both of our lives. The climbing pretty much just gives us a direction to go in. It gives us a way to spend our time outside and enjoy nature, something active to do and something to mentally work forward.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, crazy dog is going insane.
Hi, dog.
Oh my gosh, she's so big.
So cute.
I met her when she was like a tiny, tiny, tiny little thing.
She's not tiny anymore. She's
really cute.
Excited to go into Shelf tomorrow. So
you're going to Shelf tomorrow?
What? It's supposed to be gorgeous next couple days at last.
I love
it. Sounds awesome.
Wait, has she been to the crag yet?
Only to Sport Park, and we went for like an hour to do a couple climbs because it's still freezing.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you want climbing to take you in the future?
I don't know. Beautiful places.
Beautiful places.
I'd love to be able to just like see more beautiful places, and that's a fun, like climbing is a fun way to engage in like being outside, like Kat just said. I don't know. Okay, do you guys follow like Lady Lockoff on Instagram?
No, who's that?
Because she's awesome. And she was talking about, because Chinese New Year was recently, and she was talking about like feeling disconnected with like Chinese heritage and like going to China as a photographer and like climbing. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I got to go climbing in China? Like, that would be crazy.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
I've never, like, I always forget that people like climb internationally, and that seems crazy to me, but also I feel like it would be so cool to be able to like,
so cool.
I don't know, somewhere.
I mean,
country to climb that you didn't drive to. Like, what?
The thing about
never climbed anywhere I didn't drive to.
The thing about rock climbing is that there's rocks everywhere. So there's always places to climb no matter where you are, which is so unique to this sport and so special as well.
Yeah, and then it's like a cool way to like connect with people.
Exactly. How about you, Kat? Where do you want climbing to
do the same thing? I could answer the question for my partner, and he wants it as a career, a lifestyle, pretty much everything, like his entire life. For me, it's more of a personal thing and enjoyment, but definitely the traveling would be the ultimate thing. It's the first time I went outside, I traveled, went to Tennessee, and then moved across the country for it. So hopefully we'll just keep going different places and try new spots, meet new people, and just enjoy it.
Amen. Snaps. Do you have any specific big climbing goals for yourself? Like, either in regards to, I know, Caroline, you said China, or like physically or mentally or emotionally?
Kat, do you want to go?
Oh, sure. No problem. I guess at the moment, my closest goal would probably be getting my first 12 lead outside. And hopefully very soon. I'm working on it inside, but hopefully that correlates to outside very soon. But ultimate goal for climbing is going to be big walls. I'd love to do like multi-pitch, 12 pitches, and spend the night out there.
That'd be so cool.
Caroline, have you ever done a big wall?
No. I really have done very little multi-pitch climbing, but I would love to like do more of that. There's so many like amazing climbs to do.
There's so much to do.
So much to do.
You track and multi-pitch, you can lead.
Yeah. So much. I don't know. I think I don't really have any specific goals, which that could be good. I've heard that making goals is a good way to do things, but some vague goals. One of them is just, I think, I don't know. I've just been really working on trying to figure out how to make myself like try hard, because I have never really tried things that are too hard for me.
Mhm.
And so I'm really curious about like finding a project outside
Yeah.
and like getting in the habit of trying things that are too hard for me, because my habit is to never try something that's too hard for me that I can't do,
Mhm.
and be really impatient with that. And I think it's hard to get better when you don't try things that aren't in your
That push
range
you.
of
Yeah.
ability. So that's something I'm trying to like change the way I think about climbing and like, you know, getting on something, because like being worthy to get on something, just so I can like not worry so much and just try more stuff, because it's so.
Totally. I feel both of those. Um, the hardest climb I've done outside was just an 11A, and I did it lead climb, and I did it once, and then I went back and I couldn't do it the second time I tried it. I didn't make it to the top. So I'd say like I want to do that one again, and then the next one would be 11B, an 11B lead. Caroline, I want to be respectful of your time. Do you have to head out now?
Not yet. I'm still good.
Okay, perfect.
So we have a couple of minutes.
Perfect. Kat, I want to ask you, how does yoga benefit your climbing and your journey with both yoga and climbing? I want to know more.
Well, I guess they both correlate to each other. The climbing is more of like a strenuous, I guess, or more of a muscle building activity, and then my yoga is going to be for flexibility. So the flexibility on the wall definitely helps. I mean,
absolutely.
Sometimes I can get into positions that most people can't get into. I'm not even that flexible. I mean, I know some of the ladies and men that are my instructors and people that I do yoga with that are actually can get into full splits and all kinds of things. So I can only imagine how much better my climbing will be when my yoga gets better. So the other way around, just be more for the exercise and the muscle building for climbing to yoga.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I feel like they both go very hand in hand with each other. And have you guys heard of the podcast Lady Beta?
I think you've told me about it, but I have not checked
it. It's familiar.
It's I forget what her name is, but the podcast is about all things lady climber, and she interviews different experts in the field, and she did this one interview with a yoga, or was she a yoga instructor? Or she was like a flexibility coach, I think. And she just talked about the importance of flexibility when it comes to climbing. And it's so clear. Like, I always think of Ashima Shirashi when I think of flexible climbers. For those of you who don't know who Ashima is, she's one of the best climbers in the world. She qualified for the Olympics, I believe, in 2020. And she is...
Did she qualify?
Did she not?
I don't think...
she didn't.
Sorry, I don't remember actually. Sorry.
I could be wrong, but still, she's a badass. And she... in my free time, I like to watch bouldering and sport climbing competitions, which she is in a lot of, because she of course climbs competitively, and she's always getting herself in like the most crazy positions because of her flexibility. Like she can just reach her leg way up there and do all the cool things. And it's really...
I just listened to a podcast about the mentioned flexibility by the Nugget Climbing, and they interviewed Kai Leitner, who I really like.
I love Kai Leitner.
You should guys listen to it. He talks about he's just really awesome. He talks about flexibility. He talks about being the only Black climber growing up. He talks about like his nonprofit and also just like fun stuff because he's like an awesome person. But talks a lot about flexibility and especially being like a tall climber.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I'm not like super tall, but I'm like, I need to stretch.
Yeah, it's hard for tall people too. We think it's hard for us being short, but Matt, my partner, is 6'4" or 6'2". He's 6'2", not 6'4", but still. So he's like tall and can't get into the little box that we can sometimes. And I'm like,
yeah. Kai was basically being like, at these competitions, they set for like average height. So I need flexibility. He can like do the splits and stuff. And he's like, I need to have this stretching every day because I need to fit in the box. I don't fit in the box. But also, I do need to head out.
Okay,
I don't know if there's any like last quick
absolutely.
questions, but
You are all set. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Caroline.
Yeah, it was really nice to be here and see you guys until, Sophia, I can't see you anymore. But
I know.
thank you.
Soon.
Yeah.
Technology.
BRC.
Yes. Let's go this week.
Okay, sounds good. Have a good day, you guys.
You too. Have fun on your walk.
Bye.
All right. I wish that you could see me.
It's okay. I can hear you.
Yes. Well, let's see. I suppose those were all the questions that I had for both of you. And yeah, so I feel like this would be a perfect time to wrap up. And once again, thank you so much for your time, Kat. You are amazing. And
it was great to be here.
I'm so happy that you joined. And I will be doing this live stream every single week. So if you're willing to pop in again at some point for either another interview or the next live stream I want to do is explaining climbing grades.
Okay.
And if you have any interest in just like popping in on that and joining me and explaining that, I would love your company.
Sounds good.
Yay.
Anytime.
Yay. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I will see you soon. Let's climb this week.
Sounds good.
Bye, Luna.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. I'll end this meeting. All right. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties, and I believe that my camera is still frozen because it looks frozen on OBS. So I'm gonna stop the streaming now, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.